And good. Boom. Everyone can hear me out there. Good morning. It is the 14th of February. It is Valentine's Day. I hope you're having a very well Valentine's Day. I hope that you find true love or true love has already found you and you enjoy this Valentine's Day. We are here. Haven't done one of these in a long time. Figured I'd get up in the morning and talk the week that was geek. I think a lot of cool things happened. A lot of big news happened this week. As always, talking with me will be my good friend Allory. Let's bring her on and show her in stream. Why isn't this working? Oh, it's because I'm solo. That's why. There she is.
I'm here.
And let me hide that. There's Allory. Of course, I've got to give Allory a name. And there she is. And of course, I need a name as well.
You know which one you give Laura, right?
Say that again.
You know what you have to make Laura's, right?
Yes, absolutely. I got it. 1 second. Boom, 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 boom. Let's bring Laura on as well. Let's unmute her. Let's show her in stream. 3, 2, 1. There's Laura. And boom. There we go.
I knew it was coming and I still hated it.
We got a few people watching. I'm at work. Right on, Mom.
That's how I like to work.
um, so minutes of the week. I've been gone for a few weeks. I want to refrain from talking WandaVision today. I want to let everybody get caught up. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, especially I was 4 weeks behind, 3 weeks behind.
Marvel, like their main page on Facebook, has not been kind with the spoilers.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah, like I'm glad I've been watching it because they're just like posting pictures and I'm like, excuse me?
I tried to drop a few fake spoilers while Chris was in the field, but
yeah, he didn't bite.
He didn't.
What does Batman have to do with WandaVision? Yeah. Let's see. I think I figured this out to make this easy for us. Okay, that's why. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hide. I want to make that number one. I'm gonna hide. Boom. And Laura Paddington. My apologies. Boom. Perfect.
Nice.
It is Sunday. We're talking all things geek. We acknowledge it as Valentine's Day. We're going to talk about the week that was geekdom, as well as we're going to give you our choices for our favorite fictional couples in lieu of Valentine's Day. We're talking TVs, we're talking movies, we're talking comics. Let us know who some of your favorite fictional couples are as well. But with all that said, I've got a nice homebrew of whatever the hell Jen buys down there. Allory, got cat mug. Laura?
I got Chuck making me fancy tea from David's Tea, but
Jen buys from David's Tea, and they're only online now. They closed all their stores, their physical stores.
I also have tea. It's that very fancy Great Value brand because I normally drink loose leaf tea because I have like hot tea every morning, but I have one of those like it's in a mug or like a what are these things, like a thermos
tumbler,
and it has like a tea like diffuser thing built into it, so I just like pour my loose leaf in there, and I get those from Sub Rosa Tea, and it's so freaking good. I get
the plug up there, and we'll start.
Sub Rosa Tea.
I wish this had the option to just plug things. Who we got here?
I gotta give a special shout out to my lovely Valentine who makes the tea for me because I'm a lazy bitch.
The great maker. Thank you for making this all possible and having you. Absolutely love Star-Lord and Gamora. Love them.
They are wonderful.
You know, I love them. I wish Marvel would have fleshed out their relationship a little bit more in the movie.
It was a little messy.
It was.
And like not super well defined.
Being a daughter of a daughter of Thanos doesn't really help any love relationship, I'm certain of.
The other one that I felt like
Mm.
either we shouldn't have had anything at all or we needed more was the Hulk and Black Widow.
Oh, for
Really,
sure.
What do you
really
guys
fizzled
thought?
out, right? My good friend Zach says Arthur and Mara, absolutely. I'd love to see their relationship develop in the movies as well, and of course Rogue and Gambit. What do you think? You think we're gonna get? You think we're gonna get a good Rogue and Gambit? Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Anna Paquin. She's a little toothy for me, but I like Anna Paquin.
She's got the southernness, though. Like,
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job.
Let's just roll. Let's roll right into it. Let's talk about the first topic of the week. Uh, they're like the dual military couple, and their dad is the toxic general. That's a good one. They are coming in hot this week. Nice. That's a good one. We're gonna roll right into it. Let's talk about some of the hot news for this week. Starting off, I don't know if you guys played any of these games, but HBO has announced that they have cast both Joel and Ellie from the renowned Last of Us series. Pedro Pascal will be Joel and us.
This
And
is news to me, and I love it.
there it is. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for always stopping by. Yeah, so I do feel like I've spoken to my wife about this. HBO loves to work with people that they worked for before. I don't know if it's a casting reason. I don't know if it's an agent reason. I don't know if HBO treats their individuals real well when it comes to their production or whatnot. But I do. I think it's a good cast. I was originally on the fence. I don't know. Have either of you played these games?
No,
I
Tim
have.
keeps telling me that I would really like them, but I haven't played
They're
them.
Yeah,
really fun.
I really enjoyed the first one. I was definitely. Um,
I don't think I've ever played the second one.
I didn't enjoy the second one at all. I didn't like the direction the narrative went. But I mean, just to give you a brief, it's a crazy pandemic breaks out and the world's crazy and people are turning into these crazy spore-like creatures. All hope is lost.
So if
Pedro
I love,
Pascal. Say again?
so if I love Dead Space, would this be a similar
You talking the space game?
Dead Space? Yeah.
No, Jen loves those ones though. This one takes place on Earth, and there's a lot of great big set pieces of like a destructed world and them going along, and all they have is each other. The game is a total
Did
gut
you
punch.
just pick your nose with your shirt, Allory?
I did this.
Okay, we're all making
I was
fun of my
feeling
hoodie, but you're out there picking your nose on screen.
I
Well,
mean, it is what it is. No, with this snow, like since this snow started, the never-ending snow, my allergies have been so bad, so I'm just a little runny. So it is what it is.
um, what was I going to say? No, the game the game starts out with an absolute gut punch. Now that Laura's taken off her hoodie, she's no longer Paddington. Um, this big epidemic starts and people go crazy, and Joel is on the run with his daughter. Long story short, in the first 10 minutes of the game, he loses his daughter and in a very tragic manner, and then finds Ellie, who will be the little badass from Game of Thrones. Um, and she becomes the daughter that he's lost, and he'll do anything at all costs to protect her. Um, Mild spoilers, not mild, it's a spoiler, but the big thing is that Ellie, of all people in this crazy world, she is immune. And therefore, all these other factions and people and other walks of life are trying to get a hold of Ellie and test on her, or maybe if they want to find a cure to an extent, they would have to kill her and to have viable amount of a sample to maybe help the Earth or help the world. But Joel isn't ready to lose another daughter, so it's a pretty deep one, and I do believe Neil Druckmann, the game creator, is also helping with the show running. Um, Again, I like Pedro Pascal. I do think he's the new hotness here recently. Everyone loves
I
him.
have only seen him in Wonder Woman.
Okay. Well,
Like I
again,
had no idea who he
he
was.
is the Mandalorian. Um, I
That's
do.
a Star Wars thing, right?
All right. Um, no, he's the new hotness, and I think that HBO loves to cast people they've worked with before. They build relationships with them. Do I think he's a good pick? Absolutely. Do I think that believe me, that in a video game, this as cinematic as this is, there are some really fleshed out, heartfelt moments in this game. And do I think Pedro Pascal can deliver those? Absolutely. Do I think there's other individuals that would have worked just as well? Yeah, I agree. I was thinking, like I said, sticking with the lines of HBO loves to cast people they've worked with before. I know Hugh Jackman just finished a series on HBO Max, and I would have loved to see Hugh Jackman.
I will watch Hugh Jackman do anything.
Love
Exactly.
Hugh
The
Jackman.
man can do anything.
He took a movie about a really terrible circus runner and made it a hit.
It
I
is a
wait
hit.
to sing those songs.
Did I go to his live tour and watch him perform those shows or those songs? Yes, I did.
I would.
Did I stand out in the rain to watch him walk the limousine? Of
Did I
course.
miss the opening number because I was in line buying my little brother a mug and a hat? Yes, I did.
He better deserve that hat.
Have I still not talked to
He
him
loves The
today?
Greatest Showman. So the first we heard I thought there would be an opener. There was not. We heard the oh, and I was like, go. So Tim and Carter took off running, and I was like, I'll get this stuff. But and then they had the woman who played the fat lady or the bearded lady performed This Is Me also, and it was the greatest moment of my life because it was so freaking good.
Was it the greatest show?
It really was. He also sang the Gaston song from Beauty and the Beast because that was his first musical number. And he talked about his wife. It was a really good, he told stories, he sang, he danced. He was wonderful and charming.
For a woman who loves musicals, where do you put it up against Hamilton?
You know, I didn't get to see Hamilton in person because it was impossible to get tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But it is coming. They just announced they're going to start the Broadway tours again in the fall. So I got the email from Columbus, and Hamilton is on the list because they always do great adaptations. Huh?
They canceled Frozen though, but Hamilton's coming back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a different vibe. It wasn't like I don't know. It's hard to explain because it wasn't a full on he would sing songs and then he would talk about his life. It was a whole it was very much like an intimate night with him rather than
an intimate night with him.
It's I know, right? The person in the theater.
I know. It was just me and him talking about his wife or whatever, but
I mean, I can handle the wife talk as long as he sings.
Yes, he did sing, he danced, he amazed.
Boy, did he.
But no, I would have liked to see Hugh Jackman. Like I said, HBO definitely has the tendency of recasting people they worked with before. That's no surprise again. Pedro Pascal, and I need to find the name for this young woman they've cast as Ellie. It escapes me, but she was obviously a little badass in Game of Thrones.
I've seen season 1 of Game of Thrones.
The Last of Us. There it is. Her name is Bella Ramsey. Bella Ramsey. She was born in 2003. Holy hell.
I was just looking her up too.
Wow. No, I do. I am excited to see it. The ending of this game is the ending of the first game is a total gut punch. Without killing anybody off in the end. It's hard to do nowadays.
I don't think I've seen any I don't think I've watched any movie or series game adaptations.
You didn't watch The Witcher?
No.
Okay, yeah, there's that.
It was good. It was real good.
I feel like I have to play the game, kind of like I feel like I have to read the book before I watch a show.
Nah. I've never played The Witcher, but I watched it.
It's
You've never watched
definitely
Resident Evil?
cinematic.
Huh?
You've never watched Resident Evil movies?
Uh-uh.
Oh man, how are we friends?
But again, we've got a HBO The Last of Us series on the way, and they have found their two main characters, both Elle Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, and I think they're good casts. I like it. I'm not going to complain. Anytime you get some kind of property I never thought that would make the silver screen that I enjoyed, it's always an awesome plus. I do think with the television show, it gives them time to flesh out some more characters or factions or the dark dreariness of this almost post-apocalyptic world. I'm very excited for it. I won't say post-apocalyptic, I say maybe like dystopian, all hope is lost kind of world, but I am all for it.
Love me a good dystopia.
I didn't ask before we start. You guys read or watch anything good this week?
I watched 2.5 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
I had for the past 2 weeks, I've only had to go to work 4 days because we've had so much snow, and I don't really anticipate going to work this week either.
Oh, wow.
So get an even bigger snowstorm. Sorry. And so I mostly just sat around my house. I did finish a book last night that was pretty good. It was just like a lesbian romance story. It was really cute.
Love me a good lesbian romance story.
What about yourself, Laura?
I have watched quite a bit of things over the last week, but I would say my highlight is I finally watched The Little Things with the
Wait. Yeah, but I am halfway through it, so don't tell me anything.
Well, how do you stop a movie halfway through?
I watched it last night.
It
was so good.
We started it, and then Tim was like, I need to go to bed because I have to work at 6 a.m. tomorrow, which is understandable. But I was like, but then why did you say we could watch this movie? He's like, we stopped for a minute. I was like, yeah, we stopped for like 5 minutes to make popcorn. And now, so we haven't finished it yet. So no spoilers, please.
I will say spoiler free. I watched it yesterday. Did I like the movie? No. Did I like the acting in the movie? From 2 of the 3 characters, and I'm telling you, the third one I didn't like. I didn't like Denzel's acting.
I can see that.
I enjoyed Jared Leto and Rami Malek's. I liked the message and the intent behind Rami Malek at the end of it. I enjoyed that, but as a movie, as a structured narrative, I did not enjoy it as much as I mean, I'm reading a crime book now that I like better than the movie.
You're just too picky.
I've seen too much.
I did watch the disappearance at the Cecil Hotel, and wow, don't waste your freaking time. Just do a quick Wikipedia search. You'll get everything you need.
Go listen to the Morbid podcast episode.
I bet that I haven't listened to that one, but I bet it's.
They go into so much detail. I knew everything, and then they were like in the episode 2. So I like almost turned off episode 1, and then I was like, whatever, because I hadn't actually watched like the surveillance footage or the like video whatever that's called, surveillance.
Yeah, surveillance footage.
Yeah, okay, that sounded weird. But so like the footage was really creepy, like it was really unsettling.
The Lisa Lamb stuff, right?
Yeah. So that was the only thing that I didn't already know. And then they give so much background information about like Skid Row, and I'm like, I'm not interested. Like, we're supposed to be, and then they're like, Richard Ramirez was once active in this area. I was like, he didn't do it.
Like, he had his own whole Netflix original. Okay, we don't need to bring him into this one.
That was phenomenal.
That was phenomenal.
That was one of the best documentaries I've watched in a while.
I was going to, and then it was like 10:30 when I was going to start it, and then I was like, I don't want to start it, and then I was the only one up, and I was like, I don't want to be all dreary, so what did I turn on? RuPaul's Drag Race.
I mean, you two both gave me crap before we went live about how sleep is for the weak, so you should have just stayed up and watched it. Doesn't matter if it's 10:30.
We had a 10:30 hard
Leave
time.
us for the week in the morning. I like to go to bed by
You know
like
you're off
no later
tomorrow.
than 1
You're not
a.m.
working.
I am off
I know
tomorrow.
none of
That's
you
why I
working
took a
tomorrow.
nap today.
What?
I
Yeah,
was
I'm off
up at
tomorrow.
3 a.m.
Same.
and I went to bed. I took a little siesta at like 8:45 that ran into 10:29. And that's why I look like this.
I watched Little Things last night. I watched some of the Harley Quinn series, which is hilarious.
Thanks for that recommendation, by the way. We laughed our butts off last night.
Yeah, we'll wait till we get to bed and turn it on in the bedroom.
It's
watch
not kid friendly.
No, absolutely not. I'm still chipping away about that huge Gotham Central omnibus I got. It's literally Law and Order meets The Wire meets it's so good. It takes place in Gotham, very minimal Batman in it, and like just read a story about a babysitter who got her head bashed in, and they thought it was then there's a ransom note, and you find out that the people that they were babysitting for killed her, and this and that. Like this seems like no place for like a Gotham City story, but it's like a super dark one, and I'm really in for it. I'm really pumped that HBO Max is making a series about this book. It's really good. Really digs it. I started a good series called Quantico on Netflix. Totally recommend. Anybody watch Quantico?
Is that the one with Priyanka Chopra?
Ooh, it sounds like a name you'd have to ask my wife.
She's married to Nick Jonas.
Yes.
She's just like a gorgeous goddess of a woman. I'm pretty sure that's the show she was in. I haven't watched it, but those type of shows are like right up my alley. So I've like Criminal Minds is one of my comfort shows that I turn on when I'm like, I'm only gonna half watch, or I'm probably gonna fall asleep. So I'll turn on some lighthearted Criminal Minds.
Good old relaxing murder.
I think mine's go-to is reruns of Forensic Files.
Love Forensic Files.
So,
I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure Quantico is the one with Priyanka Chopra.
Yep. So that was my week. Of course, we just spoke about HBO's The Last of Us, and going into our next topic of the week, I'd be remiss if we didn't at least bring it to the attention, if anyone doesn't know already. But of course, Gina Carano, this is not the way. You guys wouldn't know the pun there because that is the pun from The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian quote is
a Star Wars thing.
Yes, it is a Star Wars thing. The thing that they say every episode is, this is the way. But the way Gina Carano conducted herself was not the way. She has been fired. She has been let go from Disney Plus. This
signed a movie deal with Daily Mail. She signed a movie deal.
Daily Wire.
Yeah.
Which I promptly unfollowed on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, and over it.
Man, I love unfollowing. Let me tell you.
Like I said, I don't want
to do to family.
Yeah, I don't want to give this topic too much damn light because she doesn't deserve it. Of course, it all started. They wanted the social media wanted to ask her about which pronouns she chooses or she likes to be, referred to by. She goes and makes a mockery out of it. Of course, then she goes on Instagram and says that she relates being a Republican to the Jewish people during the Holocaust. And let's be honest, this woman was a MMA fighter. She was no phenomenal actress by any means, stretch of the imagination. I can find a better actress who's a big hulking brute who also has a soul that could play in this. I think in this big franchise, let's be real, being in the career that I've chosen, anything that I do, positive or negative, would reflect directly upon me and again the United States military. And if you're a staple of a franchise like Star Wars that's owned by a company like Disney, which is like TV Amazon. You gotta watch what you say, and if you're gonna spew hate, there's no time for you. There's no place for you. As well as, let's be honest, you'd be remiss to think that Disney doesn't want to separate themselves from anti-Semitism like Walt Disney himself.
Yep.
Just don't have the time or the place for it. I'm glad that she's no longer part of this franchise that brings love and hope to so many people across the world, makes so many people who deem themselves different from the rest.
I'm gonna go give this little guy to his dad. Carry on.
We'll switch.
I did notice.
Here, Marnie, go ahead.
Oh, just Disney, in terms of Disney, trying to, rectify some of the moves made in the past. I was screen recording, or I was showing something for like an elementary movie club thing. So like we're doing virtual clubs. So I'll like take the movies and put them on Google Classroom just so they can watch them.
Right.
And I picked the Aristocats because that was always like one of my favorite movies. So they had like a disclaimer now being like, there is an offensive part in this movie. I don't think they took it out, but it's like when the like Siamese cat,
they start singing,
like playing piano. Yeah. That was the only thing that popped into my mind right off the bat. I didn't rewatch it, but they do have like disclaimers on a lot of their films now, the old animated ones that you're like, that's not okay. And even just like in watching RuPaul, because I started from the beginning, there are several things that I've been like, no. Like one of the episodes I watched today, one of the queens dressed up like in a Native American headdress and stuff, and everyone was like, oh, you look gorgeous. I'm like, no. I was like, she's Latina. Like, why
that ain't the way. That ain't the way.
No. And like, I mean, it was only, like 12 years ago, and like I think perceptions have changed a lot, that we're now being like, people aren't afraid to be like, not okay. Well, and I'm here for it, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrong is wrong. And again, actually, gentlemen in the comments, I had a nice conversation with James McGuffey, who dropped a couple comments in here. James McGuffey is actually my command sergeant major. I had a few conversations with him here recently, talking about social media and how certain elected individuals have now weaponized social media. But at the same time, right is right, wrong is wrong. And there's no place for again, if you feel like you're being baited into maybe putting your pronouns on social media for the whole social media sphere to be known, you have to sit back, take a step back, and realize that you are part of something that is bigger than you, something that was here before you and will be here after you, which is Disney, which are these franchises. And again, whatever you say is not only a direct reflection upon yourself, but the individuals who employ you as well. And in the world we live in now, I don't think if we could get some of the hate out of the world, it's good for everybody. And Gina Carano, good riddance. I didn't really care for your character anyway. And I'm just not here for it. Any other ones? I know I don't have a picture of it. I know Laura brought it up. Joss Whedon's back in the news.
Yep.
I know. I'm so bummed.
Yes.
I love his
Don't you hate
work
when
so
people
much.
you admire are dicks?
So
now, I will say I haven't watched Buffy, like Allory brought up last time, but everything else that he's done, I love. Like, Firefly is a damn blessing to the universe.
So it's funny you say that, because my wife brought it up last night, actually. She says, we've gotten allegations from people that are on the set of The Avengers, in which Joss Whedon directed. We have individuals from the cast of Buffy who has spoke out. Firefly being my all-time favorite show, my favorite 13 hours of television ever.
Yes, same.
She brought it up that wildly no one from Firefly has come up and said anything.
Well, if you think about it, there's really only like the two. I guess, 3 female characters in that whole show, and it is a very male dominated show.
I would agree, and then I my wife brought it up, but I looked back at it that Buffy ran from this period, and then this period in the middle, that was Firefly. So Firefly was smack dab in the middle of Buffy. So that's kind of the other thing that kind of brought me wild. And mind you, some of the females on that show got kind of big. Jessica Chastain was on that show. She appeared in like 3 episodes. She wasn't a regular cast, but she was on that show and things like that. But like I said, yeah, like Allory said, it's a total bummer when you find people that you enjoy their work, admire their work, to be skeezy people. I am no exception. Like I said, Firefly is my all-time.
Wait, you're a skeezy person?
I was like,
is that what I said?
Do we have to quit the show right
now? No, like I said, I do see it.
He's back.
As a total bummer. I admired almost every piece of media that he has put out in some way, shape, or fashion, and it's like I said, total bummer. But right is right, wrong is wrong, and that's all there is to it. We like to live and operate in a world of gray, but when it comes to matters like this, there was right and then there was wrong.
That's one of those things where, so I love Harry Potter. Like, I have all the books. I have all of the books in French. I have a ton of merch. I have a tattoo.
Same.
And, it's really hard trying to, like, reconcile your love for something that was such a huge influence over your childhood.
Absolutely.
And your hatred for the person who created it. So I know a lot of people are very much in the same with Buffy, that wasn't part of my childhood, but is a big part of, like, I very quickly became obsessed with it in this past year and was a big comfort to me during a pandemic, and it's going to stay with me. And I have all the comics, which were written by Joss Whedon. And like, it's one of those things where you understand that these people are already millionaires. Like, what's it going to hurt for me to continue to buy their products or whatever? But also know that in terms of, like, artwork, there are so many amazing fan made things, like, out there on Etsy and stuff like that, and other things that you can, like, other places where, like, if you want to buy a Buffy poster, don't go to the official website and buy it because you're putting money back into these people's pockets. Go and find an independent artist who creates something that's going to be 10 times better anyway.
Agreed.
And support some local art.
I will I'll deliver one more blow to you, Allory. I know you're a huge fan of The Runaways by Brian K. Vaughan.
I am.
And you are aware that Joss Whedon finished his run, correct?
Yes, I am.
Maybe just another gut punch.
His name is all over my living quarters, like, everywhere.
No, I'm glad you brought up the elephant in the room with J.K. Rowling. I brought it up to my wife as well. It's time for J.K. Rowling to do the noble bow and fall in suit of the great George Lucas, and like, hey guys, here is my work. Here is the universe in which I have created. Now let me give it to you. Let me give it to you and create yours. Let someone take over. Let someone do, Harry's children, or let them do Ron and Hermione's children. Let the story continue, but let someone else, once you create movie, cinema, books like that, once you create it's your creation, but it's no longer yours. Now it's ours.
Yeah, no, it has taken on a life of its own.
Yeah, and again, for sure. The Harry Potter franchise is one of the few. I mean, we watch. You guys don't, but I watch the Star Wars movies, and we try to they always do the new stuff, but they always go and bring back the nostalgia, bring back the things that we loved as younger. Like, we got the new movies, but of course they brought back Luke, they brought back Leia, they brought back Han, and all of them. But Harry Potter was the one franchise where those kids had to grow up, and you had to see them grow. And now, of course, we're doing prequels of that, but that is something that needs to be retouched on. And of course, I hope that it can. I hope that you Harry Potter faithfuls get that and get to see the story continue.
They just optioned a new series.
I did see that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the timeline's supposed to be or where we're at. That's really all I saw.
Right.
Well, and I mean, you're making a reference between HP and Star Wars, but like Star Wars, I guess we haven't waited long enough to see if this will happen, but Star Wars has spanned across generations. Like our parents grew up with it, we grew up with it, and then they came out with the new ones, and like, you know, your kids are growing up. I won't say our kids because I ain't doing that ever. But your kids are growing up with it too. Like they're still spewing out content. Whereas Harry Potter is kind of, if you think about it, even though it's been around our whole childhood, it's still kind of in its infancy of creating that kingdom.
Agreed.
You know,
Yeah.
we read it in elementary school. We grew up with it, but it hasn't reached our kids and our grandkids. Like,
agreed, absolutely. And I think that I hope it doesn't fall in the same suit of Star Wars because, like I said, as we grow, we always want, as we get older, we want things that are familiar to us. And of course, like I said, they brought back Luke and Han and Leia and all of them, this and that. But we're talking about a galaxy, but we're looking in just
a
this
far, far away galaxy.
Exactly. And we're just talking, only little niche we're talking about is the Skywalker family. Like, there's a huge world out there. Let it grow. Let it develop. These kids in the Harry Potters, they grew, they developed. You're not going to get a callback to these kids because these kids have grown. You're going to let it progress, and then said, let your kids or your nieces, nephews grow with Harry Potter, and you'll get your subtle tiebacks. You'll get maybe Harry as a professor, or you'll get Hermione and Ron.
I was like, he becomes like a horror. Don't like we are gonna come.
Neville becomes a professor.
I don't know Harry Potter like you do or my wife does, but
no, it's go see a Star Wars.
No, I do. I think that if we want to keep it going, let it grow, let it breathe, open the lid on it, let it flesh out. But of course, at times you've got to be able to accept that the thing you created is no longer yours. And J.K. Rowling needs to let someone let this thing breathe again.
I'm going to pause you there and just show you my beautiful, beautiful Valentine.
Yeah. He's a big boy.
He's a good boy. He's a chunky monk.
No,
he never comes to the kitchen during these, so I had to show him off.
Understandable.
I think that's all the we'll flip the script on that one. That's all the hate we're gonna give this show. Flipping into our topic of the week.
Oh shit! I forgot we were even talking about the Mandalorian. We got down the rabbit hole there.
That's the Chris's Comic Corner way. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. It is Valentine's Day. Yes, it is Valentine's Day. Let's see what we got here. I don't watch lots of shows you guys review, but I love seeing you guys all together. Also appreciate you with your matching wit.
I am rocking
matching black beanies.
My Cat's Eye Saloon.
Chris, I told you I should have put one on.
And my Cat's Eye shirt. I did have to change my shirt like 3 minutes into this
because
I felt like I was about to get Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl.
I have my Harry Potter pajama shirt on. I did a full face of makeup because we're going out to dinner later, but I'm
rocking my jam pants.
Laura's got like the Cat Eye winter collection on. I mean,
I had a pub shirt on earlier, but like I said, I felt like I was about to Janet Jackson it every time I leaned forward.
Another big source of controversy right now. Justin Timberlake.
They are canceling JT.
Yeah, they are. Bye.
This is how
his music was never that good.
You guys were like, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, you pull out a shovel like Justin Timberlake.
I have a little voodoo doll.
Mondays, y'all.
Valentine's Day thing.
No more hate. Let's talk love. Our favorite fictional couples. Of course, I have just nothing but comic book characters spouted up, but we're talking comics, we're talking television, we're talking movies. Laura's choice, I believe, was a show, a movie, an animated series. But
a classic.
A classic. We'll start with, let me see here. Allory, your choice.
Okay, can I really quick show my Valentine's Day gift that I got Chris, or not Chris, not you, sorry, that I got Tim.
They were my runner-up, Allory. You were
Oh,
right.
that's so great.
Now, this is me and my fiance
What's
as
the burger of the day?
Burgers characters. The burger of the day is the Life of the Parsley burger.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, so I chose David and Patrick from Schitt's Creek. I pretended to think about it for 2 minutes. I was like, Tim, who should I pick? And he started suggesting all these people that I love, and I'm like, no. We thought about April and Andy from Parks and Rec because I also really love them because I feel very much spiritually connected to April. But then I was like, oh my God, no, it's not even a question. As soon as they popped into my head, because I have watched this show a good 8 times, and every single time I still get like so emotionally involved. Like, I don't care about the rest of the show. As soon as Patrick comes into season 3, that's all I want.
Like, I could watch the open mic night episode on repeat and cry over and over.
It's so cute.
They were my runner-up couple, so
yes, they're so amazing, and it's just a show where like no one cares that they're a queer couple. Like, it's never really talked about. It's just people living their lives, and they don't make it a big point of thing to like show all this hate and stuff. It's just a very simple like, look how life could be if you could just like, let people live their lives.
One of
the have the healthiest relationships. It's so good. They're never toxic. They support one another. They talk shit through. Like
there's so much growth and development happening in that show. It is genuinely one of the best things that has ever come to television, in my opinion. Like,
it is. When I read the synopsis,
simply the best.
Not sold on the show because I was like, they're gonna be like this stuck-up rich family, and like I did not expect it to be like this heartfelt show where you actually get to see these people grow and make connections to this really small town and like better themselves and better the people around them. And it's honestly a perfect show. It's so great.
I refused to watch it until one of my really good friends, actually, I was visiting her house and she was like, no, watch this episode. And it was the Little Bit Alexis episode.
Yes.
Was the very first one. And I lost it, but you're right.
I didn't.
They're simply the best.
They really are. They're simply the best. And I want Patrick's version to play at my wedding. Lily and Marshall are great.
Yeah,
they are. I love them too.
Yes, except for Lily in season 2. We don't like her.
I love when
or the entire last season of that show. Not them, just the last season of that show.
Didn't watch it. I like when Lily and Marshall very first lived alone and realized that they were very codependent on what's his name, and I was like, oh look, that's me with all of my friends.
So I'll say that I do intend on watching it now that it is finally over. I have not watched Schitt's Creek. I am a big fan of Eugene Levy, his father.
Yes.
I have Sirius out in the truck, so I listen to the Comedy Central radio, and I hear Dan Levy stand up a lot, and he's a very funny dude. And of course, he's seeing his internet videos and things like that. He seems his energy that he brings definitely. I radiate towards it. He seems like a very awesome individual. And of course, I heard that the show does end very, very well. I wait till the show's over till I watch it. And of course, I want to binge it. But
I'm still mad that you got me hooked on WandaVision before it's over because of that same reason. But we're coping. I'm fine.
I'm not a week-to-week kind of girl. Like, I need it all now or I'm not interested.
I've got a good one for you. Hold on.
I want to eat the whole pint of ice cream, not a cup a day.
Exactly.
How my week goes.
Love it.
No, I do. I think I love watching funny shows. I love watching funny shows where there are good people in them that you know. Here we go with Megan. Izzy, I keep wanting to love your comment, but it won't let me. I agree with everything you said. I'll figure it out, Megan. I don't know.
I'm so happy your beautiful face is here, Megan. You and
This whole
Izzy.
show and all the intricate ins and outs and mechanical errors. I'm still working it out. I'm still figuring it out.
That intro, though, I'm feeling
Working on it. So I don't want to spoil
good.
too much for you. So you guys see my little logo in the corner of me with a little thumbs up. Just let you know I'm getting both of you guys made. I should have it done by Wednesday.
That's so
So we can have the
exciting.
three of us.
Did Laura freeze?
Oh, there she goes.
I showed it off at Cat's Eye the other day.
Oh, nice. But no, the very kind gentleman that goes to SCAD here, Savannah College Art and Design, he created that.
I love
logo
that you
for me.
asked for a bikini and glasses photo.
Well, I was going to make Allory
I am
with like the red
I'm
lipstick.
rocking a beanie until this grows out.
I'm patiently waiting for merch over here. You got to give me time.
Yeah, same.
We skipped like 3 weeks in a row because I was out in the field. I've got mugs. I got coffee mugs. That's what I've got.
I
so
would
far.
be rocking Chris's Comic Corner merch every week instead of Cat's Eye if I had it. But Cat's Eye is the one who gives me free merch all the time. That's it, Chris. Give me free stuff.
All right, we'll work on that. But Allory's pick, of course. You know it. Allory's pick, of course.
Rose and Patrick were.
A lot of love between these two. Let's roll over to Laura's pick for favorite fictional couple, and bam.
Nice.
Take it away.
Morticia and Gomez. You can't get a sturdier, healthier, more supportive love, I think. They are weirdos. They're spooky. You know, I love the spoops. And just, they support each other through and through, no matter what. They're like hyping each other up. And his love for her is, chef's kiss.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised you picked these two and you didn't go with the Angelica Houston picture from Addams Family Values.
I wanted the OG because I am a fan of the classics. I mean, I love the movies, but, you know, when it comes down to it, you just want a good classic, like, what it's meant to be, you know? And, yeah. They're just so fresh. I remember growing up watching them as a kid, and I was always just like, I want a man who looks at me like that, you know, as every girl does. You know, you want a creepy dude who accepts your love of, you know, relaxing to murder documentaries. And
I love that.
I found one. So
Tim supports me. He does not indulge as much. Like, so.
Absolutely.
I always drive when we go places. And so I'm almost always listening to a true crime podcast. And unless I feel like singing in my car, and then I really sing very loud.
Unless you need to throw some T Swift Evermore on. I get it. It's fine.
I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that Taylor Swift wasn't my top artist on Spotify since I've had Spotify Premium for the past 4 years. And I will not say that it told me this year I was in her top 2% of listeners.
Ooh.
And I'm like, listen, there's some crazies out there. That's putting me pretty far up there. But anyway, so he always falls asleep in the car. Just always falls asleep in the car. And so, but I'm not allowed to play my true crime podcast until he's fallen asleep because it's too hard to fall asleep to the murder.
It's like eating up like a homicide detective with cold case files.
Yes.
Like, oh, no answers.
So Chuck doesn't he doesn't like to be in a car for more than 2 hours at a time. But when we have to be, he is very sweet about being like, well, do you just want to listen to one of your podcast thingies?
Love that. Yeah,
also,
Tim doesn't really, he plays on his phone or he sleeps. So like I have full control of the radio. He is the world's worst lyric learner. Like, he has songs that he's like, I love the song. It's one of my all-time favorites. He only knows 40% of the words. And like, there is not a song on this earth that he knows every word to. And it's kind of tragic. So another good example is he knows a lot of like Lizzo, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift now because that's all I play. And he there's a line, Taylor Swift's song Delicate, where
of course
she does this delicate in the background, and he misses the beat every single time. He has never said it on time. It's one of my favorite things.
I love that, Megan. Another reason
they cannot take road trips together because they would never make it there.
Another reason I picked the original Gomez and Morticia is because I'm, again, like I said, huge fan of the classics, to the point that I have this real dumb Eddie Munster tattoo, dreaming of a 69 Firebird. And you know what? I still have a fiance.
Exactly.
That. And
she's like, check out this Herman Munster I have over here.
Ready to be seduced.
If he puts up with that dumb shit permanently on my body, I think he's the one. Damn it! Find you one who loves you weird.
No, we
Laura.
I agree. No, I think the only like horror podcast, not horror, like true crime one that would get me was I listened to Serial on the regular, the Anad Saeed case. That one was my go-to. Yeah. And of course, the now podcast for me, it's just like sports or comic books. But as much as like the true crimes I've watched, and of course, or listened to, and the ones I watch, I'm surprised I don't wake up in the middle of the night like thinking about them. Like I said, they're like wake up like an old homicide detective getting chewed up by cold case files. Like,
I had a terrible dream about murderous children last night. So.
So my weekly nightmares.
I basically have nothing but nightmares.
Like I'm dead asleep and I wake up like, those are someone's children, Diane. No, yes. I definitely awesome pick with the original. I was honestly, I was waiting. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I bet you you sent me two pictures. I bet you the next one's Lily and Herman Munster. But no, that's awesome. I dig it.
You know me so well.
So Allory, she's got the oh boy, that coffee's not working.
Well, I'm wide awake now. You should have slept in until 10:29.
I had to get up and get coffee and fetch my
bride. You have kids, it's fine.
I was actually up before her. Shit. And of course, Laura.
Yeah, that's how.
Laura chose Morticia. Sorry, she chose
and Gomez.
And Gomez. Sorry. No, two great couples. Again, my choice. I was going to go with Bob and Linda. I love Bob and Linda. They're real people struggling to make ends meet. They got a family they love, but they're just terrible, as Bob would say. But I had to go with a comic book one on this one because this couple speaks so much to me. A new rendition of this couple came out in 2018, and it's already one of my top 3 books of all time. Of course, I love Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. They're my absolute favorite comic book couple. Give you a little backstory on them. Scott Free, who is Mr. Miracle, he is a super escape artist, and of course has the quirky name of Scott Free, as in he gets away scot free.
I always thought it was Scotch Free.
Hell yeah, Bob and Linda is obvious.
Them and I were Bob and Linda for Halloween a couple of years ago.
Well, you showed your beautiful
he painted his mustache black and his hair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But my thing about Scott Free and Big Barda is just the way that they're so real in their upbringing. Scott Free, he's the heir to New Genesis. Big Barda is this warrior from Apocalypse, these two rival planets. And Jack Kirby, the great Jack Kirby, he left Marvel, came to DC, and created this fourth world of all these new god characters. And I think it's one of the greatest relationship, not only in DC Comics history, but all time. I love the fact that Big Barda is so much bigger and stronger than Scott is, and his manhood is never really threatened by that. In fact, at all, I love that, and they love each other for who they are and the experiences that they've shared, and their love is more powerful than anything. And their upbringing is what really calls to me. Their life on Apocalypse. It was kind of like. So there's Apocalypse, there's New Genesis, there's Darkseid, the big bad for the DC universe, and then there's Highfather. To stop a war, what do? They switch children to stop this war. So this to be God is given to the worst person in the world, and he's subject to the torture pits. He lives and grows up in these torture pits, and he's thrown in there every day as agonizing pain and horror and all this. And of course, who else is thrown in there? None other than Big Barda. She's being groomed to be one of these female furies, and they struck this enduring endless sadism right along each other this entire time. And that's another reason I love them. But in this newest rendition of Mitch Gerads and Tom King is absolutely killing it. He's got his books, WandaVision, based on his The Vision book. Tom King's getting a new Gods movie he's doing with what is her name? I can't remember her name. But they're doing a new Gods movie. Hopefully we get to see these two. But Scott and Barda, they're so lovable in the way that they're so normal. They live on this planet and then they leave all of it to come live on Earth, and they live just like we do. They live in a condo. They deal with cooking dinner and paying bills, and they work for their money even though they're gods. And in more ways than one, these two gods are more normal than someone totally human like Batman or anyone else would be. And of course, Apocalypse and New Genesis, they didn't forget. They didn't just forget about them. As they try to live their normal lives, every so often they get pulled back into this war that's always going, and they have to deal with leading armies and fighting wars on this planet, and then coming back and maintain their regular everyday married life and their relationship. And they, like I said, force lead armies, fight demons, grapple with convoluted political plots on different alien worlds, and it just works. And the fact that they're so grounded and so human. And I would recommend it to, I've got a couple copies of it. I would recommend it to anybody. Like I said, I read this book. I bought the trades. I bought the hardcover.
Well, I'm going to the comic shop today as part of our Valentine's Day trip. So,
Mr. Miracle, it'll tell you everything you need. You can jump right into it.
Speaking of having
and half price
copies, I accidentally bought 2 copies of Dracula, motherfucker. So if anybody wants to waste their time reading one of them,
what a one!
Totally hit me up on Facebook. You can have it for free. You can't get that time back, but the
art is like the art. It's just so don't even read it. Just flip through the art because it's great. Do you want to see my pictures?
I sent my tattoo artist, Harrow County, and I was like, study this artwork. We're gonna need a tattoo soon.
Oh, that's great.
I could not look at him for a week straight because he shaved everything but his mustache, and I hated it so much.
That's what Chuck's got going on right now, but it grows back really fast. Chris, I will say, since today's theme is love, I've not, at least I might have met your wife way back when, but I don't, remember 10 years ago. But your predisposition to supporting strong female characters and female leads tells me so much I need to know about Jen. And I'm just like, yes, queen.
I talked to her yesterday. I tried to get her to come on here because she's reading a manga series called Witch Hat Atelier, and she bought like 7 volumes of it. I want to get her on here talking about it, but I think she feels maybe there's like thousands of viewers in here, and she doesn't want to talk.
Well, we're live with like 3.
Yeah, but no, I got the
Hi,
opportunity.
Izzy and Megan.
If you go to the comic book shop, I do recommend these. This book changed me, like better father, better husband, soldier, like just dealing with real life. And I'll give you the tagline of this book is Scott Free can escape everything. Is Megan says hi.
Why didn't Brian comments pop
and
up?
Brian says
Okay.
the best comic love I read recently is Baby Teeth. Baby Teeth is a good one.
He also
I don't know about that
submitted
one.
his request for best couple.
Oh, hold on. And he said Beavis and Butthead.
As you do.
No, I would suggest this book because, like I said, this book, I didn't know I needed this book when this book came out. And
are those the same? You just have different versions of them?
I've got the Barnes & Noble exclusive cover, I've got the hardcover, and there's a third hardcover out.
Okay.
Me buying all the Harrow County.
Tell me about Baby Teeth really quick.
Baby Teeth, yes. So think of it like Rosemary's Baby. This young girl.
I don't love that. Do not love that.
This young girl gives birth to the Antichrist.
Casual.
There's secret.
Is that not all children? I'm sorry, I take that back.
It's good. It's written by Donny Cates. Donny Cates writes a lot of really, really good stuff. Right now, he's the big head honcho at Marvel, but he does write a lot of indie books that really hit well. He's writing that Crossover I had you pick up as well.
Yeah.
He's continuing that one. But what I wanted to say was
were Beavis and Butthead gay?
All right,
Brian's blowing my mind right now.
There's
I
no
thought
way.
They were just really trashy dropouts.
But it's the love and pride she has for the baby. Yes, of course, she gives birth to the Antichrist, but damn it is her child at the end of the day. And it is a very good book. I've got the first 2 trades of that. Baby Teeth is a very good book. Okay. Good art, too. I really enjoy it.
Okay.
But like I said, I didn't know I needed this book when it came out, and I loved it. Brian said they had to be gay.
I'm here for it. I
just thought they were like dropout stoners. I mean, that was me in 2009. You know,
when
the
one you recommend calling again, Chris. This is Mr. Miracle by Tom King. If you like WandaVision, he wrote the book that's loosely based off. What the hell?
I slid my laptop and it made a squeaky noise. Sorry.
It sounded like you sawed a cat in half, but
I'll give you the
I might have sawed a cat in half.
The big teaser and tagline of this book is that Mr. Miracle is an escape artist. He can escape anything, but he comes to terms he can't find out if the world that he's living in is real or not. So what's the one thing he sees if he can escape? His own life. He attempts a suicide attempt on his own life, and all of which he has a wife that loves him. A huge war on these different worlds that he has to be strong for. He has to be strong for his wife, his soon-to-come children. It's a super crazy book. I love their relationship, and I went to Jacksonville SuperCon a couple years back, and I got to meet Tom King and Mitch Karras. I told them how much it meant to me. The last issue, the 12th issue, came out when I was in the field, and I picked it up on my phone and I read it in a Porta-John because I couldn't let that thing get spoiled for me. Go ahead, Laura.
Was that Jacksonville, Florida?
Yes.
I have no desire to go to Florida. Continue.
Okay. I got the opportunity. I did get the opportunity to meet the both of them, and I got like 6 issues signed for them, but I had to get this. Both Big Barda.
That's beautiful.
And I got them both.
I love that.
But I just love these two. They're so real and grounded and so relatable. But this gets hung on the wall. I had to take it down and flare that off a little bit.
That's so cute. And when I was at Comic-Con, the only original art I bought was a very big-chested Mary Jane. So she's hanging
I went to Klexicon, which is a super gay con in Vegas based off of the show 100. It's Clark and Alexa, like Clexa. But I got so much good merch that's all hanging in my living room. I did buy Chuck a Star Wars poster.
A Star Wars.
Yeah,
The Star Wars.
I don't know which war, but it was over a star, and it's hanging in our living room.
It forced me to spend the big cash. I had to get the first appearance of Mr. Miracle. I had to go get the first appearance of Big Barda.
Is that framed?
It is in a case, yes.
That's beautiful, Christopher.
You need to expand your space so you can have all that on display.
Christopher Anthony, organize your room better.
I do mean, yep, cons have great merches.
I could spend the entire con around Artist Alley and not set foot onto the showroom floor and everything, like the panels.
But this book,
I don't want to listen.
Great because, again, this is written by Jack Kirby. It was created by Jack Kirby, but they used Jack Kirby's 9-panel grid, the entire book. So there's no confusion on it. It's great is you see the white background between the boxes. The white stuff, the stuff in the white panels is when they're on Earth. And the stuff when they're on black, it's when they're on New Apocalypse. There's a lot of you don't know what's real and what's not. They keep you guessing the whole book because they do this like shaky, like pixelated, like is this real or so that's all like digitized, like is what's being told to you real or not? Because you don't know if he, one, was successful in a suicide attempt, two, if this world he's living on is real or not. Or this world that he's created for himself and his family, is it real or not? It's like I said, book changed me. I loved it. I got a bunch of my best Nightmare on Elm Street merch from cons. Hell yeah!
I'm gonna need pictures of all of that.
I was gonna say Brian and I are best friends. I rock a Freddy Krueger sweater 12 months out of the year. It's fine.
But no, my pick was without question Big Bart and Mr. Miracle. That's going to wrap up our Valentine's Day comics and coffee.
Then what I'm going to do with the rest of my Sunday now?
I know, right? Well, you don't work tomorrow.
I'm going to go get hibachi and spend way too much money on books I don't need.
I rolled out of bed at 10:29 for a 10:30 podcasty.
What more do you want?
And now I'm awake, okay? I'm sitting on my kitchen island. I got the hype going. What do I do?
I'm telling you, so this is how much I love. I bought multiple copies of this book because I did get to meet them. I had them sign issues. I had them sign art for me. I ripped out the first page of this book, the title page of this book, and Mitch Garrett's signed it and drew a little Mr. Miracle for me.
I love that.
So
that's really cool, Chris.
I absolutely love this book. I recommend it to anyone, comic book fans or not. But again, it's Valentine's Day, all about love. I hope you enjoy your hibachi.
Oh, okay. I guess that's what I can do is go spend the day with my loved one.
There it is.
Hey, Chuck? You want to spend the day together?
I have the actual street sign with Robert and Nancy's signature from Nightmare on Elm Street. Nice.
That's awesome.
Megan wants to know where the comic shop is, Allory.
Oh, I'm going to the Laughing Ogre. It's in Columbus.
But I'm going to plug, again, the Little Professor in Athens. If they don't have it, they'll order it. No extra cost to you. So
another one, I found out the way I can drop pictures, but also drop links in the chat. So remind me next time we want to plug a book. Give me a link to the Laughing Ogre and the Little Professor. I'll drop them right in the chat.
Yeah, I don't get there as much as I'd like. We used to have a local, just specific comic shop, but it closed a couple of years ago. But I absolutely love the Laughing Ogre. So anytime we can take a trip, anytime we're getting kind of near Columbus, I'm like, why don't we swing on by? Because it's so much fun to browse. They have a huge selection. They have vinyl pops, which I have spent so much money on. I have the whole Bob's Burgers family. We have probably, I think, maybe 115 when we counted last.
I went and my 3 weeks of the field. I went and picked up my books.
Love it.
Yeah. What we got here? Please. Really, Laura? That's made my day. Perfect.
By the way, local folks, you can literally message them on Facebook to place your order. They are super accommodating. So
anytime I don't have to talk to someone, I
hate talking
am
to people.
1,000 more times likely to deal with that business than
surprisingly to anybody watching. I hate talking to people.
Yes.
Allory's going to get some books, get some hibachi. Laura's going to spend some time with her loved one.
We don't know. I'm probably going to take another nap.
That sounds dope. They need to make a comic book or a comic book shop. The main theme is Friday the 13th. Oof. I don't know how many times I'd go in there a week.
I was like, I'd walk through there all the time. Like,
heck yeah. Am I gonna die?
I hope so.
You're grabbing single issues like, I hope Freddy's not here.
Oh no.
This is what dreams are made of.
Oh Lord. I'm going to spend some time with my 2 Valentines today. Really don't have anything planned. I got my grocery shopping and haircut out of the way yesterday, so I didn't have to go anywhere.
Brag about your productiveness, why don't you?
The old TV show series. I don't think I remember the old TV show series. I'm aware of it. I don't think I watched it. No. Again, as always, before we leave, shit. What do we want to talk about Wednesday?
Shit after we leave.
Say again?
You said before we leave shit, but I'll do that after we leave.
I know what we should talk about. Not specifically, but it is Black History Month. I think we should do some Black creators.
I like
it. It is. I think that we should all pick one for next time.
We're going Black creator, we're going Black character, what are we doing?
Either way.
I don't know. I also, if we want to talk about a specific comic, I do have it's not back here, it's on my other. But there's one called Black Mage that is Black written, Black MC.
Okay. All right, Black content creators, Black characters. Let's keep it in lieu with
not Black Panther.
Black Panther. Whatever we want. I'm down with that. We'll do that.
Or we just make a 2-hour tribute to the attractiveness of Michael B. Jordan.
I was gonna say
I could get behind that.
I was gonna say Idris Elba, but that works.
We're just gonna check mark that, and that's what we're doing.
She's like, well, that's it. We'll see ya.
Bye.
All right, guys. As always, thanks for coming chat with me. Thanks for being a part. Again, hopefully Wednesday I will have some cool new graphics for the 3 of us.
That's so exciting.
Yes, I hope they turn out well.
I'm gonna make us a cute new little sigil that we can put on a stamp.
As long as it isn't Allory's suggestion, I'm not going to repeat it on Facebook.
Okay, but I didn't like either of the 2 suggestions you had. So.
It's already done.
In my mind, I've already renamed the show. So, and I noticed you didn't switch our group chat name.
To you too, Brian, man.
Yeah.
CC for the win.
All right, y'all. As always, everybody in the chat, thanks for coming by talking comics with us. Hope that we gave you some information, gave you some titles you want to look into, some new places to shop. And as always, I'm Chris.
I'm Allory.
Oh, that's me. I'm Laura.
You know what I'm going to do, though? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Allory's made. She's going to have a red lipstick and a smile, but yours is just going to be like all mean mugging and shit. That's how it's going to be.
Look, you have posted the most embarrassing screenshots of my face already. Like, I don't know why you hate me, okay? I promise I can be cute once.
Oh boy. All right. It is almost noon. So
is this payback from high school, Chris?
Nothing but love for all of you. As always, I'm Chris. She's Allory. Laura's on the end there. This has been Comics and Coffee. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. And we will see you again Wednesday. Thanks for stopping by and have a good day. Later, guys.
Love you both.